my name is Laura, and today I'm going to show you how to make turkey and quinoa stuffed peppers. And you can follow along with the recipe right here on this website. So to start, we're going to start with the peppers. So I've got two different colors here, two green, two orange, just for color, but you can use whatever kind you'd like. So first of all, they roll around like crazy. You don't want to cut yourself or have them rolling all over the place. So you're going to start by cutting off a little bit of the bottom. And you've got a flat pepper. And then to take the top off, you're going to use your knife and go around a circle. We're going to stuff these after all. Just go around like that, and then twist, and out. And there's still some seeds and ribs inside, so you're going to smooth that with your fingers. Okay, and we're going to do that to all four. So the filling starts with some quinoa. And quinoa is an amazing grain, and it cooks for about 15 minutes. You put it with 2 cups of liquid for 1 cup of dry quinoa, chicken stock, vegetable stock, water, whatever you have. Bring it to a boil and then simmer it for about 15 minutes until the water is all absorbed. You can see those little spirals. So I have some already cooked and cool quinoa. We're going to put that in a bowl. And also in the filling, we have some mozzarella cheese, and some feta cheese, one of my favorites. And also some dried currants, which are very similar to a raisin. Even if you don't like raisins, you probably like currants, but you can also use golden raisins or any other dried fruit that you like. And we also need some scallions, which have a nice onion flavor, a little bit of green color. Just gonna thinly slice those up. So we got the sliced scallions. So we need some fresh parsley. And then just give it a round chop with your knife. So let's put that in. We're also going to use some fresh oregano. And you can use dried oregano as well. Fresh oregano is very, very strong, so you don't need a whole lot if you're using it fresh. For this amount, I would say use about a teaspoon dried. And we're going to use it in 2 different parts of the dish. So I'm going to use part of it now and part of it later. Just a little bit of that. And into the bowl. So another great ingredient in this is walnuts. Add a nice crunch and a nice nuttiness to it. But first we're going to toast them. It adds a lot more flavor. It really brings out the flavor in the walnuts. So we're going to toast them in a dry pan. No oil, no nothing. Just put it in the pan and heat it up until you smell it. When it's fragrant like that, you know it's done. It should only take about 1 to 2 minutes. We're going to put those in. And then we got to make sure we season this up with some salt and pepper. About a half teaspoon of salt, and a few fresh grinds of pepper. So also what goes on top of these peppers is a nice crunchy panko topping. And panko breadcrumbs are just a large size of breadcrumb. They're really crunchy and flaky, and they go great in a crunchy topping. About a cup or so. Again, seasoning with some salt and pepper. You want to season every layer of this dish. And we're going to add the rest of the oregano that we reserved before. Give it a chop. And then we also need some lemon zest. So we're just going to zest it into the bowl. Okay, and then just to moisten it, we're going to use a little bit of olive oil. And then just give that a toss with your hands. And so that's your finished topping. And so one of the last ingredients in the filling, besides the protein that we're going to get to in a minute, is the lemon juice. Always do it either through your fingers or through a juicer or strainer so you don't get those seeds. So the protein that's going to go in with this lovely mixture is ground turkey. And you can also use ground chicken, ground beef, ground pork, ground lamb, any kind of meat that you want. It would all work fine. So we're going to cook that up in the saute pan. And we're also going to chop up some garlic to go into this lovely filling. We don't want to just put it in raw. It's going to be too strong. So we're going to cook it when we're almost done cooking the ground turkey. So we want to make sure that it's really small. You don't get big chunks of garlic. So we're going to put it right on the zester like we did the lemon. Turns it into this nice paste for it, and into a bowl. And that's ready whenever we need it. So our oil is nice and hot and it's ready for our turkey. So I've got a pound of lean ground turkey here. That's the still dough you want. And let that start to cook. Okay, so our ground turkey has been cooking for a few minutes, and it's getting nice and brown, and it's almost all the way cooked. So now it's time to add the garlic that we chopped up. put that in. Give it a stir. And then we're going to deglaze with some white wine. Deglazing just gets any of those little bits off the bottom that are really great flavor. You can use water or chicken stock as well, but wine adds a nice flavor. It is going to be baked again, so the meat should be pretty much all the way cooked, but it's going to be cooked again in the oven. And it's going to put that in and give it a stir. So we're going to stuff it inside of these peppers. Stuff as much as you can in there. Just like that, pack it in. And then we're gonna take some of this panko topping. Put it right on top like that. And into the casserole dish. And there you have it, finished turkey and quinoa stuffed peppers. Thanks for watching.